Have you ever noticed those people who rarely speak? They walk into a room quietly, and yet somehow everyone feels their presence. It's not their words, it's their silence, their calm, their control. Now think about it. When John Wick enters a scene, does he need to speak volumes? Not at all. His silence screams louder than words ever could. That's the kind of power we're exploring today, the power of silence. In this video, you're not just learning how to stay quiet. You're learning how to master silence, to use it like Wick uses a weapon, with purpose, precision, and strength. Stick around. The next 5 minutes might change how you see yourself forever. Let's start here. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Most people fill every gap with noise, opinions, arguments, explanations. But high-level thinkers, warriors in their own right, they use silence as space to think, to assess, to control the battlefield. When you remain silent, you're not avoiding confrontation, you're watching it unfold. You're learning before reacting. That's exactly what made John Wick so deadly. His patience, his calm, his silence before the storm. In your everyday life, silence works the same way. When someone criticizes you unfairly, pause. That moment of silence isn't surrender, it's confidence. It tells the world, I don't chase validation, I know my worth. Now imagine this. You're angry, you're upset, you want to erupt, but instead you breathe. You stay silent. That moment becomes your turning point. It's what separates amateurs from masters. Wick never shouted, never begged for justice. He acted with calm precision. Every quiet pause was thought, not hesitation. That's emotional control, the kind that earns respect, the kind that wins wars without shouting. Silence lets you choose your words as weapons, not reactions. When your emotions settle, your mind becomes sharp. People trust a person who can stay composed when chaos reigns. Silence isn't only useful in conflict, it's essential in healing. When you face loss or heartbreak, words often fail. But silence gives you space to rebuild quietly. Just like Wick, who lost everything, yet instead of breaking, he found purpose in the silence that followed. Those quiet moments, they're not emptiness, they're transformation. You don't need to fill silence with excuses or noise. Let it shape you. Let it teach you. In stillness, you discover clarity, the kind that noise hides. When the world misunderstands you, silence protects your energy. You don't need to win every argument. Sometimes wisdom is knowing which ones not. Now let's talk about power. What does silence do to others? It makes them wonder. It makes them think. It commands respect. John Wick never had to say, I will take revenge. His silence was the message. His quiet composure struck fear, but also admiration. You can learn that skill, whether you're in a meeting, a disagreement, or a personal crisis. Silence gives you control. The moment you stop reacting, people lose control of you. They can provoke, insult, misunderstand, but your silence is armor. Strategic silence isn't passive. It's power. It's a statement that says, I don't chase noise, I create direction. But let's go deeper. Silence shapes confidence. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're training yourself. It's no different from how Wick sharpened his instincts. Psychologists say, when you master silence, you master internal dialogue. The voice inside you that says, I can't, starts to fade. You begin to trust yourself more. That inner strength reflects outward in how you stand, speak, walk, and lead. Silence becomes your compass. You think more clearly, you decide more wisely, you listen more deeply, and people begin to lean in when you finally do speak. By mastering silence, you're not just changing how you communicate, you're redefining leadership. You become the calm in the storm, the thinker who speaks less but says more, the presence that people respect. So next time you're provoked or pressured to speak, pause, breathe, be like Wick. Move in silence until it's time to strike with wisdom. Remember, silence doesn't make you invisible. It makes your presence undeniable. True power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Be silent. Be strategic.